Hello, I'm Chrissy Janiga. I'm an author, clinical social worker, and mindset and alcohol-free coach. I just really want to talk about success and really our expectations on when we go into changing something about ourselves. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of my story just to kind of help you understand why I think we need to redefine what success is. And success is subjective, but I also think people are sometimes perfectionists and expect things and want things to be a certain way. And when we don't have them go that way, we really internalize that and make ourselves feel so awful. And this might be a little bit of a limiting belief for some of you as well, is that in the past, if we haven't done things a certain way, it's a sign of failure, or we're worried that we're going to fail. And again, I think just having an open mind. But when I decided to change my relationship with alcohol, I really didn't actually know if I wanted to stop drinking forever. I went in like different phases. I think now that I reflect on it, that I have stopped drinking, I think yes, 100% I wanted to stop, but it's hard to sometimes get to that place right now. We don't have to. And so whether you're taking a break for 2 weeks, for 30 days, forever, I think just having an open mind, but also redefining what success is and what failure is. And if we can do this, I think it makes us feel a little bit better about it. So I went 6 months without drinking, drank again. Now figured out I was a people pleaser and I probably shouldn't have done that, but if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have known that about myself. And each time I drank and wasn't sure I wanted to do, it gave me more information that told me I don't want to drink, that it's not making me feel better. In fact, the longer I took a break, the more I got evidence that it wasn't something I wanted to do. And so when we look at it that way, if we drink again or we do something that we aren't happy about, it gives us more information why we don't want to do it next time. And it just really solidifies why we want to do this. Now, again, I want you to be safe and I don't want anyone to drink and drive and I don't want anything horrible to happen. But I think that when we start drinking again and we get really mad at ourselves if we did something silly or something that might even be considered, destructive on some level. And again, this is all subjective to your experience. We really feel bad. And I think really it's a time to reflect, okay, what didn't go well? And how do I want to do this differently next time? And how am I learning that this thing that I'm doing isn't serving me? And when we do this, we gather information about how it's not working for us. And we're seeing that even though we might think it actually gives us something, right? So I want you also to reflect on when we go out and let's say we drink and we decide to do that and we didn't intend to do that, for example, or we didn't intend to drink as much, what do we think it gives us? Because there must be some type of benefit sometimes to drinking, right? So what I mean by this is that sometimes when we decide to stop drinking and we know it's bad for us, we also do it anyways. And it's just like this really, really bad feeling. And I have to tell you that we have grown up in an alcohol society. And what that means is that even if you didn't grow up with your parents drinking, alcohol is all around us. It's in advertisements, it's on billboards, there's signs. How many wine glasses that talk about, drinking and kids and my toxic mommy wine culture. It's everywhere. So we sometimes don't know. Again, I gave you this video on the subconscious, but on the subconscious level, we might not know that we think it's still giving us something or helping us do something. So again, you are just getting information. And really, what is failure? If you look at really successful people like Bill Gates and Oprah, and you really listen to their story, none of them say that they somehow just got successful magically. They failed, but failing doesn't mean it's bad. They didn't maybe do something the way they wanted it to. So that just gives you, again, more information to make change, more information to be like, hey, that didn't work out well. That being said, I get it. I've been there. I've been really disappointed with myself and I've had to flip it and say, okay, I didn't like how that went. I cannot change my future. I don't have that ability, but I can change my future. And what do I want to do differently? And how is this not working for me? And it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that, if you look at success, little things we do add up to really massive changes. And if I had to tell you, and it's Tony Robbins that talks about this, is that if you could do something different and it might not happened for 10 years or 5 years, would you still keep doing it? And most people would say yes. But when we think about, it not happening right now, we get really pissed at ourselves. It has to happen now. And sometimes making massive changes, like changing a relationship with alcohol, it happens on many levels. Number one, we got to learn about it. We got to learn what alcohol does to us. We got to debunk some of those myths. Number two, all those subconscious thoughts that we're not aware of, that alcohol is maybe benefiting us. Alcohol, we've seen it so many times. And then we have to actually really believe these benefits, right? So it took me a long time to believe that I didn't need to socialize with alcohol. In fact, it does more harm than good, but it took me a long time to get there. And then caring what other people think of us. Oh, that's a big one. Validation, that's a big one. We spend so much time caring what other people think about us, and they don't really care. Honestly, I can tell you this from the lovingest place ever. People at the end of the day will support you if you want to do you. Now, when people question your relationship with alcohol, number one, keep in mind people grow up in the same world as you. So I think on a subconscious level, people might not realize that it's normal not to drink, right? It's okay if you don't want to drink. And the more we normalize it, the more other people will go, oh, okay. And honestly, a lot of people suffer and think about not drinking. It is such a common phenomenon. And also be careful about validation from people that are not doing what you're doing. I did this a lot because I was ambivalent about what I wanted to do. So I wanted someone to tell me that I'm doing the right thing. And this is where you might need to get support from the right people. And not that your family and friends are not supportive, but if you're trying to seek validation from somebody that doesn't want to do the same goal, there's nothing wrong with it. They don't want to do it, but we can't expect them to give us the validation. So that's why working with coaches and joining supportive communities is really crucial, because those are the people that are going to solidify what you're feeling, and they're going to support you no matter what. And I will link my group below, Glow Vibes Tribe. And I really thank you guys so much for being part of this video and spending some time with me. Have a great day.